After age 65, everyone gets the same advice. Exercise. Doctors say it, your family says it, you even know it yourself. Moving keeps bones strong, hearts healthy, minds sharp, and helps you live longer. But here's the one thing few people say out loud. The wrong kind of exercise after age 65 can actually make you weaker, faster, and even lead to injuries that are hard to heal from. Take Daniel, for example, 72 years old, a man who always believed you've got to push hard for results. He ran every morning, did hundreds of crunches, and lifted weights like a young man. But just 3 months later, he had knee pain, dizziness, poor sleep, and weight loss. When he saw his doctor, the doctor put it bluntly, "You aren't weak because of your age. You're exhausted because you're exercising the wrong way." The truth is, your body after 65 doesn't bounce back as quickly as it did at 30 or 40. Your joints are more vulnerable, your heart rate can be erratic, and if you don't adjust your workouts accordingly, each session can become an act of breaking yourself down instead of building yourself up. What's even more dangerous is this. Many older adults have no idea they're making these mistakes. They think they are pushing themselves, while their bodies are silently sending out alarms. Through a dull ache, lingering fatigue, or an unexpected slip and fall. In this video, I'll show you 7 common mistakes people over 65 make when they exercise, and more importantly, how to fix each one so you can keep training safely, effectively, and for many years to come. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, this is the perfect time for you to learn to train right, at the right intensity, and for the body you have today. If you find this content helpful, drop a 1 in the comments so I know you are with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get more great videos to help you live healthier, happier, and more independently every day. Now let's dive in. Mistake 1, skipping your warm-up. Remember when you were young, you could just step outside and run, play badminton, or garden for hours without feeling a thing. But as we age, every joint, muscle, and even our heart needs one thing before we start, a warm-up. Yet so many older adults would say, whether from habit, being in a hurry, or just not knowing, skip warming up, or just go through the motions for a minute before jumping into their main workout. And that is precisely what makes them so vulnerable to needless injuries. I remember Maria, 69 years old, who joined a wellness class at the park. One day she arrived late, skipped the group warm-up, and went straight into shoulder rolls and squats. That same day her knee began to hurt, a pain that lingered for 2 weeks. Her doctor was clear. The exercises weren't too hard. It's because your muscles and joints weren't warmed up before you moved. When you're over 65, your muscles have less elasticity, your joints are drier, and your ligaments are weaker. Without a warm-up, your muscle tissues lack sufficient blood flow and flexibility, making them easy to pull suddenly, causing sprains, strains, or even tendon tears. A warm-up doesn't have to be complex. Just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movements will do. Wrist and shoulder circles, hip rotations, marching in place, side-to-side leans, deep breaths. The goal is to warm your body, gently wake up your heart, and signal to your entire system, okay, we're about to get moving. Many people think warming up is only for intense exercise, like running or lifting weights. But the truth is, the older you are, the more vital a thorough warm-up becomes, even if you are just walking or doing gentle stretches. This careful preparation is what helps you work out more effectively, feel less sore, and recover more quickly. A body that's warmed up properly runs so much more smoothly. On the other hand, if you just floor it before the engine is warm, your body can't adapt, and you are the one who will pay the price, nobody else. So next time you get ready to exercise, please spend a few minutes warming up first. Your body will thank you for it, and you will absolutely feel the difference in just a few sessions. Mistake 2, pushing yourself way too hard. There is something many older adults don't want to admit. Their body after 65 isn't the same as it used to be, but pride, old habits, or an eagerness to get fit fast can cause many people to accidentally push themselves past their limits without even realizing it. Overtraining isn't always about dripping sweat or a pounding heart. Sometimes it's a deep fatigue that lingers all day, a dull ache that won't quit, or a restless night's sleep after your workout. Those signals, if you ignore them, can lead to injury, burnout, or even a hidden risk of a heart attack. I once spoke with Ken, 73 years old, a proud veteran who had always been very strong. When he started training again after many years off, he jumped back into his old routine. Long runs, heavy weights, deep squats. After 2 weeks, he landed in the hospital with low blood pressure, insomnia, and intense back pain. His doctor said, "You aren't weak. You just aren't listening to your body." After age 65, your recovery is slower, your heart is more sensitive, and your muscles are more easily injured. A workout that was perfect for you at 40 could be harmful now if the intensity isn't adjusted. Everyone can and should exercise, but you have to train for your current capacity, not based on memories of the past. Don't let your pride make you push too hard. Don't see someone next to you doing more and try to match them, because nobody knows your body better than you do, and nobody else will suffer the consequences except you if something goes wrong. So what should you do? Start with a light intensity and increase it gradually. Choose appropriate exercises. Walk instead of run. Use lighter weights instead of lifting heavy. Try gentle yoga instead of high-impact aerobics. And most importantly, if you end a workout feeling drained instead of energized, that's your sign you've pushed too far. Training is supposed to make you feel better and happier, not exhausted, discouraged, or hurt. Your body doesn't need an epic workout. It needs a smart, sustainable routine that's right for you. Mistake 3, not giving yourself enough recovery time. Exercise makes you stronger, that's true. But what most people don't talk about is this. It's during rest, after you exercise, that your body actually rebuilds and gets stronger. Many people over 65, once they commit to fitness, make a common mistake. They exercise every single day, never giving their body a real break. They think rest is lazy, that it's giving up. But for older adults, rest isn't just a good idea, it's a critical part of the training process itself. I remember Lois, 70 years old, telling me she walked every day, never missing a session, rain or shine. She felt tired. Her knees had a low-grade ache. She wasn't sleeping well, but she pushed through, afraid that skipping a day would make her weaker. It wasn't until a fitness specialist at her senior center told her, "You're not tired from age. You're tired because your body hasn't had a chance to heal." After she switched her schedule, walking 3 days a week, with rest and light stretching on off days, she felt her body respond. She was stronger, her spirits were higher, and her knees stopped hurting. "I'm not falling behind, I'm moving forward smarter," she said. The reality is, after age 65, your muscle, joint, and cardiovascular recovery slows down. If you don't rest, the micro damage to muscle fibers from exercise can't mend, your ligaments can't recover, and your immune system gets suppressed. Over time, this leads to burnout, injury, and low energy. So what does proper rest look like? It's simple. If you work out 3 to 4 times per week, schedule rest days in between your main sessions. On your off days, you can still be lightly active, a gentle stroll, some stretches, deep breathing, just no intense exercise. And listen to your body. If you wake up feeling more sore than usual, that's likely a sign you need another day off. And don't forget to sleep enough each night, because deep sleep is when your damaged tissues and cells get repaired. Training isn't a daily sprint. For older adults, it's a long-term journey that requires a healthy rhythm of effort and recovery. Mistake 4, using the wrong form. You can have the best exercises, a perfect schedule, and plenty of rest. But if just one thing is off, your form, then all that work might not only be useless, but it could cause aches, damage, and even long-term injury. Using bad form is an incredibly common mistake for older adults, not from laziness, but from simply not knowing they're doing it wrong. Shoulders hunched on a push-up, back rounded when bending, knees shooting past the toes on a squat, or neck craning during a sit-up. These small errors, repeated over and over, can lead to joint pain, spinal misalignment, or a strained neck. Consequences you'll pay for with medication, missed workouts, and a total loss of motivation. I remember Miguel, 68 years old, who diligently did squats every morning at the park, but he always had a nagging backache afterward. When a volunteer trainer saw him, he gently corrected, "Sir, you're letting your knees drift forward and not keeping your back straight." After a few sessions of fixing the disform, Miguel was amazed that the pain was gone, and standing up felt easier too. "It wasn't that I was weak, I was just doing it wrong," he said. After 65, your body isn't as forgiving as it used to be, so maintaining correct form is critical. One wrong move can strain a ligament, slip a disc, or injure your neck. And the danger is you might not feel it right away, but only a few days later. So how can you ensure good form? If you can, get guidance from a professional or join a supervised group. Exercise in front of a mirror to watch your alignment. Focus on doing each movement slowly. Correct is better than fast. Always keep your spine neutral, avoiding sudden jerks or twists. For leg exercises, keep your knees over your feet, not past your toes. For arm exercises, don't let your shoulders creep up toward your ears. And most importantly, if you feel sharp pain, dizziness, or lose your balance, stop immediately. Pain is a warning sign, not a sign of progress. Your body is very smart. It will always tell you what's right, if you're willing to listen. If you're still with me and finding this helpful, let me know by dropping a 4 down below. And if you're not subscribed yet, I'd really encourage you to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss our new videos. Your support helps us keep creating useful and inspiring content. Mistake 5, neglecting balance and flexibility. At 30, you can stand up, sit down, twist, and step over to things without a second thought. But after 65, flexibility and balance are no longer a given. They are skills you must actively practice to maintain every single day. However, so many older adults focus only on strength exercises, brisk walking, lifting weights, cycling. They forget that if you're strong but not flexible, you're still at risk of falling. If you have good stamina but poor balance, you still face danger every time you step into the shower. I met Nora, 75 years old, who was a dedicated daily walker. But one behind the just stepping off her front porch, she lost her footing and fell. She fractured her pelvis and it took 3 months to recover. Later, her physical therapist explained, "You weren't weak, you just had never trained for balance." After age 65, the small stabilizer muscles around your joints, ankles, knees, and hips weaken faster. If you don't train them, your ability to catch yourself when you stumble is reduced. And then a single misstep can lead to weeks of recovery. To improve this, you don't need to do anything difficult. Start with these simple exercises. Stand on one leg, lightly touching a chair for support for 10 seconds per side. Walk heel to toe slowly, as if you're walking on an imaginary balance beam. Do wrist and ankle circles every morning. Practice gentle yoga or Tai Chi, which focus on the fluid, controlled movements. Stretch your hips, knees, and back daily with gentle moves, hugging your knees to your chest, a slow back bend, or reaching overhead. These movements may seem small, but they are what help you get dressed. Step into a car, turn to pour a glass of water, or bend to pick something up without pain or dizziness. Training for balance and flexibility isn't about looking as limber as a kid. It's about maintaining control over your own movements so you can live independently and confidently in your own home. And if your body has been sending you strange signals, sharp pains, tremors, or unusual fatigue, the next step is crucial. Don't ignore those warnings because so many people ignore them until it's too late. Mistake 6, ignoring your body's warning signs. One of the most important parts of exercising after 65 isn't about how many minutes you work out or which exercises you choose. It's this: are you patient enough to listen to your own body? Or have you been accidentally ignoring the warnings that it's trying to send you? After a workout, do you feel more exhausted than usual? A little ache in your knee, a sore back, an unusually fast heartbeat, or trouble sleeping? That's not just a normal part of getting older. That is your body speaking up, saying, "Pay attention to me." I met Alan, 71 years old, who exercised regularly every morning. For a while, he felt a mild pain in his hip, at first only when he walked quickly. He thought, it's probably just my age. But the pain slowly worsened until even sitting and standing became difficult. At his checkup, his doctor found a small tear in his hip muscle, caused by repeating a bad movement for too long without addressing it. Alan's story is not uncommon. So many older adults think just push through it, forgetting that exercise after 65 isn't about fighting through pain. It's about working with your body. After a good workout, you should feel refreshed, light, and alert, not achy, sluggish, or unsteady. If something feels off, no matter how small, don't brush it aside. Make a note of it. Ask your doctor, ask a trainer, and be willing to adjust your routine or take a rest day. Warning signs you should never ignore. Sharp pain, especially in your joints or spine. A racing heart or shortness of breath after a low-intensity workout. Dizziness, lightheadedness, or loss of balance. Poor sleep after exercise or fatigue that lasts into the next day. Swollen joints, numbness, or tingling or unusual tremors. Your body is not complaining. It's telling you the truth. And the sooner you start listening, the longer you will preserve your health. Exercising correctly doesn't mean powering through pain. It means knowing when to rest, when to adjust, and when to ask for professional help. And that leads us to the final mistake you need to avoid. Not consulting a doctor or specialist before you start, especially if you have a health condition or are returning to exercise after a long break. Mistake 7, not checking with a doctor or specialist. First, when you're 65 or older, every health decision needs careful thought, especially when you start or change an exercise routine. But so many people skip one simple yet critical step, getting the green light from a doctor or specialist before they begin. The common excuses are, I'm just doing something light. I feel fine, I don't need to ask anyone, or I've exercised for decades, I know my own body. But the reality is, after 65, your body changes in quiet ways, and even familiar exercises can carry new risks if they aren't tailored to your current health status. I spoke with Carol, 74 years old, who was healthy with no chronic conditions. One day she joined an aerobics class at her local community center. After a few sessions, she felt dizzy, and her heartbeat was irregular, but she brushed it off as being out of shape. When she finally saw her doctor, she discovered a mild heart arrhythmia, and that fast-paced, high-impact class was completely wrong for her. If I had just asked my doctor first, I would have chosen a different exercise, she said. Asking an expert isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign you want to train smarter and safer. A quick check-in with your doctor, a basic fitness assessment, or advice from a physical therapist can tell you the current limits of your heart, joints, and bones. You'll learn which exercises to avoid if you have conditions like high blood pressure, osteoporosis, or diabetes. You can also find exercises that fit your goals, improving balance, building stamina, or restoring flexibility. And most importantly, you prevent injuries from doing the wrong thing or doing too much. Especially if you take medication that affects blood pressure or heart rate, or if you have symptoms like dizziness, insomnia, or constant fatigue, then consulting a doctor before exercising is mandatory, not just a suggestion. Think of seeing a professional as a smart preparatory step, not a sign of frailty. Just as a driver on a long trip checks the tires and oil before leaving, the better you prepare, the smoother your fitness journey will be. Your body deserves that respect, and the care you take today is how you protect your future years of healthy, independent living. Exercising after age 65 is a fantastic choice, but how you exercise, what you do, and how much you do, that's what determines whether you are building your health or accidentally tearing it down. We've just covered 7 common mistakes that older adults often make when starting or maintaining an exercise routine. From skipping warm-ups, pushing too hard, and not resting enough, to using bad form, neglecting balance and flexibility, ignoring warning signs, and forgetting to consult an expert. Each one might seem small, but day after day, they can quietly lead to injuries, decline, and a lingering fatigue you never saw coming. The good news is, you don't have to fix everything at once. Just start today by looking at your own routine, paying attention to how you feel after you move, and being brave enough to make small adjustments that feel better for you. That is the mark of someone who exercises responsibly, and it's how you extend your independence, your mobility, and your true quality of life. You don't need to train like your younger self. You just need to train in a way that helps today's body feel a little bit stronger than yesterday's, consistently and sustainably. Because at this age, every healthy day is a gift, and every workout you do correctly is an investment in your own long, healthy life. If anything in today's video was a light bulb moment for you, please share it with me in the comments below. Your story might help someone else avoid a mistake or inspire someone who's feeling stuck. And if you found this content valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so you can continue getting more practical, down-to-earth, and valuable tips for older adult health. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll keep learning how to live actively, healthily, and fully every single day.